Hello YouTube! Welcome to the premiere first ever episode of CGL New Jersey Collectibles. My name is Chris, and today I wanted to show you all the cool stuff that I found at the flea market. So here's one of the first things that I found. I found two things. A vintage Corgi Jr. Batcopter that's in pretty rough condition. See, it's missing this here. But along with it, I also found the Talking Viewmaster, and obviously what grabbed my attention to this was the amazing Marvel graphics that are on here. You got Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Thor. And there are a bunch of reels in here that we checked out and looked really good. And I got the two items in total for $25. So the way I saw it was I paid 25 bucks for this, and I kind of got this little Batcopter for free. So, good deal in my book. We're also able to find at an estate sale today, my dad and I, we were able to find some vintage 60s games, which included a vintage Monkey in the Barrel of Monkeys, and Password, and we got these for $3 a piece, but they look to be complete, and vintage 60s, can't beat it. Another item I got today for $5 is a Star Wars, vintage Kenner Star Wars Rebel transport that's in really rough condition. I mean, you're just looking at kind of the skeleton here. See, it does have some stickers and stuff inside, and it does have this this centerpiece here. I never owned one of these, so I'm not too sure what everything's supposed to look like, but hoping to clean that up. And we got that for $5, along with this other vehicle from Space 1999. Not too familiar with the series, the show, the movie. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. But we got both vehicles for $5 a piece, so $10. Can't go wrong with that. And the last little odd and end kind of thing I got here is for my own personal collection. It's a Robert Johnson, The Complete Recordings. Looks like there's 2 CDs in here. It comes like a little manual book, and the guy was only asking $5 for it. He was kind of impressed that I knew who Robert Johnson was, and I'll be impressed if any of you know who Robert Johnson is. So for me, this is almost priceless, but $5, can't beat it. So the comics for today, I'm not going to go through every single comic book that we purchased because a lot of it isn't super desirable, but it was all good stuff. So we ended up purchasing a little bit over 220 books, probably about 225 comic books, and we spent less than $1 a piece for everything, except for some of the better stuff, which I'll show you right here, which we paid up a little bit more. It was more like $2 a comic for these here, but for $2 a comic, you're going to see well worth it. Just center this. So the first thing, don't get too excited, because it is a reprint, but a giant size X-Men #1 reprint in near mint condition. Vision and Scarlet Witch, obviously that took off with the WandaVision series. Still 15-cent Daredevil. A double special feature special Thor, featuring Thor. That's a #1. And a lot of the books that we purchased today vary in subject matter, but primarily what I was focused on was the Marvel superhero stuff. That's really my main focus. Even the DC superhero stuff I'm not too into, but my dad is, so there's some of that stuff in here as well. But I'm mostly a Marvel guy. And there's a nice book right there, Marvel Superheroes. Nice Hulk and Daredevil cover. So here's something that my dad was into, and some more stuff, some 12-cent Jimmy Olsen's. Here's another one. These were all pretty, I mean, they varied in price, but they averaged out to about $2 a piece. And I'm not a big DC guy, but I do know that this is a nice issue here, The Final Fate of the Flash. Superboy, kind of in rough shape. Another Silver Age Jimmy Olsen. There's a lot of Silver Age stuff. Here's some stuff that my dad found that was killer. Werewolf by Night by Marvel Comics. I'm a big horror fan myself, and I always find the artwork on these comic books to be fascinating. Little Hot Stuff, popular title. Here's more of that Marvel horror, The Mummy. There you go, another one. That's number 13 and number 10. Found a couple of these Lobos back, number 1s, and the guy was selling these actually for $1 a piece. And when we added everything up, it came out to less than $1 a piece, so I grabbed a couple of those actually. This was something I picked up, and like I said, I'm not a huge DC guy, but I love the Cyborg cover. I love the vintage Cyborg look. Being an action figure collector as well, the vintage Superpowers Cyborg was always a great toy. There's a cool looking cover, Hulk Wolverine. Some Richie Rich. Here's more of a spec book here. Avengers, Kang Lives. What do you guys think? Kang the Conqueror going to be the next tier 1 villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I'm pretty sure that's McFarlane art, and yeah, it looks like it is, and that's a very cool book. Some Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom covers I found. Just lower this here. Fantastic Four 330 and 319. Iron Man stuff that's been doing really good lately. Iron Man 162. Here is the Eternals, number 1. Batman 451, but obviously what you're looking for on this one is the Joker cover. Everybody likes the Joker cover. These are things that I picked up that probably don't have a ton of value, but I like them, maybe because I can't afford the actual copies, but all these Marvel tales, kind of the retelling of the original Spider-Man stories. This one's one of my favorite here, the Mysterio. Love that cover work, that artwork on there. We got the Molten Man. These books aren't too valuable, but they're so cool, especially when you don't have the originals to kind of look at. Here's an Uncanny X-Men. Silver Surfer, another spec book. Maybe Galactus becomes that MCU tier 1 villain, which I hope for. I prefer seeing a Galactus in the MCU over Kang the Conqueror, personally. But that'll be that's more of a reach. Here's another Marvel horror, Marvel the Frankenstein Monster, number 15. And this one, it's kind of a key issue. We paid $2 for it, and this is some first featured artwork, and this is about a $10 or $15 book. So, Uncanny X-Men 248. That's all I'm going to show. Unfortunately, I don't have the storage space on my cell phone to run a longer video, but I will in the future. And thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe.